from £50 a week up to £100 million pounds, and they're different. They range differently from everyone, but and from country to country, to be fair. Different countries have different tax laws, so different vehicles. But from your point of view, at the sort of normal end, I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies, and then you step up into different things.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and it is in fact the final few minutes of the show. But don't worry, because I'm here to make sure that I tell you everything that you need to know with regard to the climate crisis and everything that you know or need to know to make sure that you are informed and updated about all of these things. All right, so make sure to actually text me or call me on 078-52473473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, and let me know what you think about the conversations that we have been having. All right, so now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about everything that you need to know with regard to the climate crisis. All right, and to start off, let's actually talk about how single-use plastic plates and cutlery and even polystyrene cups are in fact being being banned in England under government plans, because it's seeking to reduce the plastic polluting the environment. All right, a public consultation that will launch in autumn said that in autumn, and the ban could actually be in place in a couple of years. All right, so the move was actually welcomed by campaigners, but they said that the overall progress in terms of cutting plastic waste or cutting down plastic waste was in fact very snail paced. All right, because the EU actually banned these items and others all the way back in July. So in terms of the efficiency, and in terms of how fast we have been doing this, we're actually very snail-paced and slow, right? The truth is, ever since that IPCC report was released, I feel like that should be reason enough for our governments, for our people to be doing more about the climate crisis. However, if anything, it just looks like they're just trying to do like little things and get away with it and make it look like they care about the environment, when you as the government can work in such a bigger, greater capacity to actually make sure that there is more change that happens all across the United Kingdom. All right. So the average person actually uses about 18 throwaway plastic plates and 37 single-use knives, forks, and spoons each year. And this is according to ministers, because while there is durability in terms of plastic litter, it also means that it kills more than 1 million birds and even 100,000 sea mammals and turtles every year around the world. Okay. And in addition to that, something else that we've seen is people over the 50s, people over the age of 50 are actually want the climate crisis to be addressed, even if it means that they will have to buy things at a higher price, or they might not be as accessible as it is right now. So majority of over 50s actually believe that the UK government they actually believe that the UK government should be doing more to address the climate crisis, even if it leads to higher prices. Right now, a survey on more than 500 people aged 50 and over found that almost 2/3 want ministers to move faster on climate initiatives, regardless of whether it meant products and services would be more expensive over time, right? Or even if it was more difficult to access, these people did not have a problem with that, because they, said, look, the government definitely needs to be doing more in terms of the climate crisis. So Stuart Lewis, who happens to be the founder of this website called Restless, actually conducted this study, and they essentially said that our research shows that midlifers feel a huge sense of responsibility for the health of the planet and their role in reducing climate change as well. Okay, so it's important to actually keep that in mind, because we're talking about challenging these norms, challenging some of these small steps have taken, and especially because these steps can be taken in a much larger scale to actually have more change all over the United Kingdom also. All right, now something else that this study found was that there is this common question, right? Or rather, there is this common assumption that when it comes to older people, they don't really care about the climate, they don't really care about the planet. However, that doesn't seem to be too true, because they've basically challenged all of these assumptions about a generational divide on environmental issues, right? And more than 2 in 3 people actually more than 2 in 3 people in that survey said that they had bought fewer clothes to cut down on waste in recent years, and also half of them had actually reduced some energy use, right? So the vast majority of midlifers that they surveyed were actually already making changes to their own habits, and also 1 in 5 actually said that they had only bought some seasonal food. So that is basically the beauty of it, and that is absolutely amazing as well. However, right now we're going to be heading into a small break, but don't worry, because after that we will be back to discuss a little bit more about this. But until then, make sure that you stay tuned.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh, so that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, got me thinking. You want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out though so much, especially with these kind of shirts when you're riding? There must be a purpose behind it, right?
Well, when you say a purpose, Nick, what I do, I wear the shirts mainly because they're nice and bright, so they make me visible, especially if I'm riding on the road.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's very important, right? Because you want cars, yeah.
Very important. And also, like, people see me in like calves, and perhaps I shouldn't be saying this on here, I suppose, but in the bar afterwards.
All right.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh, so that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, you look like a guy who do.
You know me too well. You know me too well, Nick.
back to the show. It is, in fact, the final few minutes of the show. But don't worry, because even in these final few minutes, I will make sure that I keep you informed, I keep you updated and entertained about everything that we're going to be talking about. All right. So make sure to stay tuned, because I still have a lot left to share with you with regard to everything that we have been talking about. All right. Now feel free to actually go ahead and text me or call me on 078 Share your thoughts, share your opinions, because I would love to hear everything that you have to say. But right now, we're going to be talking about how Freshers Week parties could actually spike coronavirus cases. All right. Now, Freshers Week parties are going to be happening next month. And universities actually want to go ahead and do this, because this is the first time they're having in-person events, especially ever since the pandemic basically changed our lives and closed down everything ever since 2019. So this is in fact the first time they're having in-person Freshers Week parties. And essentially what we're seeing right now is a lot of these people, or rather a lot of government scientific advisors, have warned these universities against hosting these Freshers Week parties, because they're saying that that could lead to very large spikes in coronavirus cases. Okay, now universities across the country are in fact planning to hold in-person events for first-year students next month, ever since 2019. And Professor Susan Michie, who happens to be one of the professors, or rather one of the directors for the Center of Behavior Change at the University College London, essentially said that there is a huge risk associated with these Freshers events, right? Because it has the potential for being a super spreader event, but also B, it's traditionally associated with alcohol, right? And we know that when people are under the influence of alcohol, they tend to sort of, when people are under the influence of alcohol, what happens is they tend to, they tend to actually be unaware, or the alcohol tends to inhibit their behavior, right? So even if you go with the mindset of taking necessary precautions and taking care of yourself and not contributing to the spread of COVID-19, under the influence of alcohol, you possibly could, right? So it's very, very important to keep that in mind. However, it's also the end of this show, but don't worry, because we have so much more amazing content for you on Relaks Radio. So make sure to stay tuned and make sure to keep listening to Relaks Radio as well, right? And until then, I hope you have an absolutely amazing day, and I hope you keep yourself updated while you're doing your work.